Offended, please exercise caution. Because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children. And not for coworkers either. And yes, that includes you, Cindy. Seriously, how many stuffed animals do you need at your desk?
Seriously, Cindy, that's too many Beanie Babies. I mean, this is a professional environment, and your entire desk is covered with Beanie Babies. How are you getting any work done? Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? Hi, welcome back to the show. I'm JJ Weiser, I guess, and this is my buddy.
I think it's funny
that
it shows you. That's funny. It shows you how dated JJ is because the joke that he made for stuffed animals were Beanie Babies. Your kids haven't got
you want
plushies
contemporary?
Yet.
Hold on, let me take another check. Hey, Cindy, why do you have so many Squishmallows on your desk?
Okay, thank you. I was wondering if your girls were into the plushies and the Squishmallows and stuff. I have been on Squishmallow outings to where we go around to different places, including the Cracker Barrels. Did you know Cracker Barrels have certain Squishmallows that me and my daughters will go in to specifically look for Squishmallows? Yeah, that's what girl dads.
I know that Aldi had Squishmallows at Christmas time, and my wife bought them, and she was like, "Their girls are gonna love this." She bought them like in October and had them hit up, and then Christmas morning came, and Squishmallows and all the other stuff they got, they didn't give one. They didn't care. They didn't care one thing about Squishmallow.
Oh, my girls love the Squishmallows. Yeah, they like them. Yeah, I know that picture on the. It's not some random employee. That was my daughter. Thank you very much.
Yeah, hey, that's what I was saying, dude. I was like, I thought you were telling me I was wrong. I was like, well, what?
No,
I thought it was your daughter, and then you were like, no, that's
folks that don't know. My oldest has got her first like job, and she works at a little pizza place, and she made me a pizza over the weekend, and it was a big deal for me. I felt like a very proud dad. So
is that the pizza she made you?
Yeah, it was just a thin crust pepperoni.
She made you a pepperoni.
Yeah.
You don't like that? Okay, favorite pizza.
I'm not gonna. Pizza? My favorite pizza would probably be right now beef, pepperoni, and feta.
Feta?
Yeah, feta cheese.
Okay, all right.
Greek cheese, I love it.
You know what? I know, but maybe the audience doesn't. I know that you're like a pizza aficionado. You did pizza like and you like baked your own and stuff like that.
Right, but I don't like a lot of crap on my. It just depends. If I'm making my own pizza, I would put other stuff on it because I know how to cook it and I know what But when you order a pizza with a lot of toppings on it from a place, they usually don't know how to cook it. Let's not get into pizza right at the first.
No, all right.
No, I have a weird pizza thing that we do though. I put sweet pickles. I put sweet pickles and sweet pickle juice on my pizza, and I'll eat sweet pickles with my pizza. And we put the sweet pickle juice and put it on the crust, so the crust has kind of got like this. It's not soggy, but it's kind of got a sweet pickle juice flavor.
Got a little kick on it.
It's a weird
probably
thing
counters
that we do.
The pepperoni is like spicy, right? So the sweet probably offsets it.
Yeah, it does. And it doesn't work on all pizzas, but it works on some pizzas. Like Domino's, I can tolerate a Domino's pizza if I have sweet pickle juice, because that's the only thing that makes it edible. Domino's pizza is not pizza. It's shit.
I can't believe we're talking about pizza so much. Congratulations to your little girl, though.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It was an awesome weekend.
All right.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did have a good weekend. I'm gonna have to think about what I did this weekend. Obviously, I changed my shelves here a little bit.
Yeah,
so I still have my little girl's picture right here. I may rearrange this stuff a little bit. I have a quote that I picked up from Dr. Seuss here. It says,
I can't read it. What's it say?
I know you can't read it, so I'm going to read it to you. The more you read, the more things you will know. The more you learn, the more places you will go. That's great. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I did a little bit of that. It was Easter. Well, it's not Easter. Easter's next week, but we're gonna be traveling. So the kids and I did like Easter eggs and stuff like that yesterday.
Cool.
Yeah, we had a good weekend. We went shot. My wife and I found a couple hours to go have a date, which is just like impossible
Yeah.
to just get time.
Yeah.
So no, we had a good
Ashley and
weekend.
I were
Yeah.
able to have a couple of little times over the weekend to where we had like little dates. It was really,
Mhm.
yeah, when you get married and you get kids and stuff like that, you have to try to make time you got to try to make time. We didn't for a long time, and it affected us quite a bit. So you got to try to make time.
All
All
right.
right, man.
Morning, Brian. I see you there. Morning, Richter.
Morning,
Pineapple.
everybody.
I love pineapple. Pineapple and mushroom is what I prefer.
Yeah, pineapple on a pizza. Ashley likes pineapple on pizza, and I do too. And she answered it one way when they were having the debate, the pineapple pizza debate. It depends on where the pizza's from, whether the pineapple on the pizza is good or not. And I agree with her because sometimes pineapple on pepperoni and pineapple or Canadian bacon and pineapple on a pizza from a certain place tastes like crap. But another place
Yeah, but
it
it
tastes
could be
better.
that pizza would just taste like crap no matter what you
Well,
do.
I mean, it's the sauce or my argument is a topping anywhere,
Uh-huh.
right? Topping's topping. Cheese is cheese. You can buy quality cheese and use quality toppings. Topping's a topping. The pizza is made through the sauce and the crust. So if you've got a good sauce and a good crust, topping's a topping. So there
All
you go.
right. I actually have, you know what? We will circle back to pizza another time. I have maybe a pizza story that might make you go like, "Oh, you've ruined pizza," but I don't know.
Okay.
We'll find out. But anyway, we'll not do it now. We'll not do it this time.
I was
Today,
looking through your articles and I saw some crap that I was like, holy crap. I didn't see this come out over the weekend.
oh really?
And
Which
yeah,
ones?
you made it a couple of them the title of our show today.
Oh
Actually.
yeah. So I
I didn't
have.
know if you had a title that you was going to
Here's
pop
the
up
thing.
there.
I set up a Google alert for one of our favorite topics on the show,
Yeah,
and so I get an email with extra stories there sometimes.
that's not right.
Oh yeah, you need to do your segment.
Oh,
Go
go
ahead, do your
ahead.
segment.
No, I hit the wrong thing.
No,
I
do your
hit the
segment.
wrong
Oh, I need to
thing.
do all right. Title of the show today. Today's April 3rd, 2023. You know what? Before I get into that, let me just thank you for watching the show. If this is the first time you're here, I know our regular guys are here while we're live, but if you're watching this later and this is the first time you're here, if you get a chuckle, if you have a little bit of a giggle this morning while drinking coffee and listening to two dads talk about the news, then I encourage you, please hit the thumbs up button on rumble.com/JJW and like, subscribe, whatever, all of that stuff. And the stories are available in our Discord server. So if you show up in our Discord server, we can give you all the links. Am I going to put those in the description? I'm not going to do that. It's too much work. Okay. Today's episode title, Rust DA convicted. Rust AD convicted, assistant director convicted in the shooting death of Helena Hutchins, and Trump awaits charges. We eagerly await his arraignment, and it turns out Bud Light is the trans of beers. So that's our title this morning. So excited!
The trans of beers.
The trans of beers.
Okay, so are we going to read that story first? Because I would like to propose some questions that Ashley and I were talking about last night.
You want to jump straight to the beverage?
Let's do it, man.
Okay,
I have
that's
some
what you want to do.
questions. Yeah.
It's all fair game. They're all in the title, so any one of them can be the title story.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. What do you want to know? You want to know something about Dylan Mulvaney?
I want to know what the hell. Just explain to me what this is all about first, and then I want to propose some questions.
So, Dylan Mulvaney is a biological male that is celebrating or has celebrated spending his first 365 days as a woman, purportedly. Now, Dylan Mulvaney is a clown. He is a caricature of a caricature. Woman. It's not even a.
Yeah, he's the one that when he was still a man, he was on The Price is Right. Have you seen the video of him on The Price is Right when he was a man?
I am not deeply familiar with the Dylan Mulvaney CV.
Well, I'm not either, but it came up in something that I was watching, and they were like, look, this guy was a clown even back then. And he was on The Price is Right with Drew Carey, and he was flopping around the fucking floor and acting like a crazy person and whatnot on that show too, acting flamboyantly flamboyant like he does. It's a little
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is
people
a person
talk like this all the time, JJ.
This is a person that is obviously putting on an act. Like and is such in deep psychosis that they're putting on the act all of the time. If they break character, they're going to destroy their, current livelihood. This
Right.
is this appears to be a person that I thought was like a maybe like a comedian, of some kind.
Yeah, like he was putting
A
on a
comment,
persona like
and
Larry the Cable Guy. He's putting on a
yeah,
character. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
but it
this
was
is
like a
real.
third-rate male comedian, and then decided that he was gonna, be a woman, and then got, and it's the case of like the exact thing we kind of worry about is that you do something outlandish and honestly just whatever weird, and then you get positive reinforcement by thousands or millions of TikTok views and all of that stuff, and then you like double triple down, and you get so far into that you're not going to be able to back down.
I tried to tell my son one day, he was watching something on YouTube, and I was like, "That is stupid." And he was like, "Yeah, it's stupid." And I was like, "Why are you giving him views? If you think
Right.
it's stupid, why you are giving him money? Why are you
Right.
watching it?"
So Richter is like, why Bud Light's gross, but why is it the trans of beers? So Dylan Mulvaney, let's see, Breitbart, where's this one here? Dylan Mulvaney was hired by Bud Light to be the transgender spokesperson for their brand. They and not just transgender spokesperson, like, okay, this, and you can go watch this video. I'm not going to watch it. They sent him, whatever, this clown. They sent this clown a Bud Light can celebrating him being a woman for 365 days. So Bud Light is like way into trans stuff, I guess.
So this is my question.
So now Richter's like, oh, crow, what the F? Yeah, no, that's
Okay,
exactly what's going on, sir.
exactly. Richter's response is my question. My question is, do the executives at Anheuser-Busch,
I have not had enough coffee.
do they realize who their customer base are? I have not had enough coffee. Do they not realize who their customer base is? And this is the question that I proposed to Ashley last night. I was like, surely to God, in the executive meeting, they had somebody that said, and if they don't, then if they fail, they fail. This is on them. But surely to God, they had somebody that said, JJ, if we hire this transgender person, we need to realize that there needs to be an acceptable number of losses of customers. All right. When you hire this transgender person right now to come in to be the spokesperson for your whatever, you need to realize that you bring with that person, you bring with them a core of people that is going to support that person and whatever they sponsor, just because that core of people, in my opinion, is not as big as the core of people that is going to drop off from your company.
Right. See,
that does not equal out.
I hear you. What you're describing is the rational presentation of costs and benefits that would be evaluated in any company that considered losses and gains, except you have over that the specter of, oh, what's HR going to say? Or if I speak up, I'm going to get a complaint filed against me.
I am the executive and my bottom line is money, I don't give a fuck what HR says. And they don't either, from the underhanded shit that corporations and companies do. They don't care about people and their feelings. They care about their bottom line. And this, to me, looks like somebody would have slapped some executive in the face and been like, look, we don't give two shits if you got a dick, if you tuck it back. If you got boobies, we don't care. This is a terrible thing to try to put our brand on right now. I think this is a terrible move. Why don't we sit back in the back with Michael Jackson and eat the fucking popcorn and watch it instead of saying instead of picking a side. You pick a side, and when you pick a side, you alienate half of the people,
Well,
and
we'll
then
have to see.
and this is what I'm saying. I mean, I am a Budweiser. I drink Budweiser, and this is something else
Oh,
that I brought
really?
up to her last night. I drink Budweiser, but I'm diabetic, and I'm not a big drinker, and I've never have been a big drinker. I maybe will drink Budweiser 5 or 6 times a year, maybe.
Yeah.
But here's what I said to Ashley. It's not just Bud, Anheuser-Busch and Coors and Keystone and, Pabst. It's not just 4 or 5 brands anymore. There are thousands and thousands of different types of beer and IPAs and everything.
Many options.
So Budweiser already had their cash cow starting to drain over the past 2 decades from these IPAs and these backyard brewers that are brewing in their garages and shit like that. They're not going out and buying the Budweiser anymore. So why in the hell are they wanting to dip into their losses even more by alienating themselves by picking a transgender person? I told Ashley, I said, you know what? I drink Budweiser, but the minimal amount of Budweiser that I drink, I'll buy something else. But I'll make sure that Anheuser-Busch don't make it. I'll make sure that Anheuser-Busch does not make it, because Anheuser-Busch makes a lot of different fucking beers and owns a lot of different beers that you don't know about. So if you're going to be one of these people, we've said it on here before, if you're going to be like, I'm going to make a stand and I ain't going to do this anymore, you need to look and see how much those companies actually own before
when this video dropped, and I think it dropped like either this weekend or maybe even October 1st, Gateway Pundit is did it really drop on April 1st? That's
no,
brilliant.
You said October 1st.
Did I say October 1st?
Yeah.
I haven't had enough coffee yet.
No,
I haven't had enough coffee. I haven't had enough coffee to say the word April, and Richter hasn't had enough coffee to watch a man dressed as a woman try to hawk him beer. I was going to try to do this. Anyway, so apparently, according to Gateway Pundit, as soon as this kind of ad dropped, boycott Budweiser started trending on Twitter.
I wonder. Yeah, that's
yeah. So if you're gonna like wonder like whose decision was this, I guess the thing to do would be go over to Anheuser-Busch's website and go down this list, because this is their leadership team. This here is Brendan Whitworth. He's the CEO of the U.S. I don't know what U.S. division of Anheuser-Busch. But then I would kind of probably go down to this other guy.
Are you not reading this dude's bio? As CEO,
let's read it.
Brendan leads an Anheuser-Busch growth and long-term commercial strategy, drawing on his deep experiences in the CPG industry and years in the Marine Corps and Central Intelligence Agency.
Whoa, what is he saying?
Perspective.
Semper Fi. What is he saying about the Marine Corps?
The fucking CIA runs the goddamn beer companies.
Wow. Yeah. Hold on, it gets better. According to Richter's doing some research here, and it turns out Dylan Mulvaney's in a bubble bath selling Bud Light.
Richter is doing God's work, and you can just keep God's work to yourself.
Hey, Richter, can you send that link to Deacon?
We're not. Don't
send that to Deacon.
Deacon don't want that link.
Wow. All right. So the CIA puppet Anheuser-Busch is this all part of a color revolution that the CIA is trying to overthrow the United States? Don't that look
like a fake Hollywood actor? That does not look like the CEO of one of the most, Anheuser-Busch is like a huge corporation, man. And look at these guys. That now Bob Talent over there does.
I mean, okay. They look like they brought in a photographer to do corporate mugshots or whatever here. So they all have the same photo except for this guy.
Dan wasn't there that day, you fucker.
Yeah, he was out. He was so U.S. Chief Marketing Officer. If anybody approved this plan with Dylan Mulvaney and the trans cans, It's
Garbe.
Benoit Garbe.
Benoit Garbe. Cesar
Benoit
Vargas. Cesar
Garbe.
Vargas. Wasn't he a boxer?
I don't know. Maybe.
Lindsay King. I went to fucking school with her. She graduated a year after.
If you guys got time to Google, go over and Google all these guys' names and see if they are also CIA operatives.
That's great. I love that.
Let's look at Benoit. You think Benoit was in the CIA?
Garbe. No, he was in the MI6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mossad.
He was in
all
the
right.
Mossad.
Well, all right. Anheuser-Busch. Guys, if you're out there and you're thinking, hey, I'm thirsty and I want to support trans rights, well, Bud Light's the brand for you.
And
whatever
Bud
trans
Light,
rights are.
if you're thirsty and you're like,
what do they need? Like the right to bear arms, the right to free speech? What do they need?
And if you're thirsty and you're like, I want a beer, but I want to drink 78 of them before I feel a buzz, and I want the beer to taste like somebody poured a gallon of water into a glass of beer, order yourself a Bud Light, because Bud Light tastes like somebody poured a gallon of water into a glass of beer.
I'm not their audience. I stopped drinking beer years ago. It gives me indigestion. Also, I don't like other men tucking dicks and pretend to be women. So that's just not. They're not marketing at me. They're marketing at you.
I started drinking beer. I started drinking Budweiser because when we would go to concerts, and I had been to many, many concerts in my life, I got tired of paying like $7, $8 for a Bud Light. I was like, if I'm gonna pay $7 for a beer, I'm gonna get a full beer. So I got the full Budweiser, and I developed a taste for it. And now I am definitely not buying a beer at a fucking concert because they're like $15 a piece, and that's stupid. People that buy beer at concerts are just, I don't know what's wrong with them.
All right. So last one, Richter says Bud Light is water that identifies as beer.
Yeah, Richter's right. Richter's exactly right.
And my brother says, and this is in character completely, you guys are joking, but yes, this is the kind of thing the CIA does.
No, he's right. Yeah. Your brother's right.
Taking over the world. Bye.
Absolutely. He's right.
All right. Okay.
I think it's hilarious that the CIA fucking came out and said, hey, we killed Kennedy. We sure fucking did. And nobody gave a fuck about it. Nobody, media, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Commit a horrendous crime, wait long enough.
That's their strategy. That's the strategy. So in 50 or 60 or 70 fucking years, when it comes out that something different happened with 9/11 than the bullshit that we were fed, just saying. What's the Russ story? We get into the Russ story. This
yeah. So
there's
I know. No, it won't. It won't. And Alec Baldwin, he's looking handsome and dapper on our title card. So I'm hoping that people want to know about Alec. But this story is not directly about Alec, other than bricks are being laid in place in order to secure either a deal or a confession or go to trial. We'll have to see what happens. But we have two developments in the Alec Baldwin Rust killing of Helena Hutchins. That is, if you don't know, Alec Baldwin was on a movie set. He was rehearsing a scene. He took his pistol out of his holster like you do in the scene. He had his finger on the trigger and was cocking the gun or whatever, and he shot the gun. He inadvertently shot the gun, perhaps, or maybe intentionally shot the gun. We don't really know because nobody can read minds. But what we do know is that he pointed a gun at a woman, and it went boom and killed her.
The woman was
that's what we know.
The woman was standing like behind the camera.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so
she was like
at the camera like this.
First of all, that's not safe. They should have never been doing that. If he was going to point at the camera, everybody should have been like out of the way. There should have been, that camera should have just been sat over there. And you're never allowed to point at a person.
Right. And this is where all the controversy comes from, because everybody thought that, everybody was under the assumption that it was a fake prop gun. But
right. Yeah.
The prop guns are sometimes real guns, and sometimes assholes bring real ammo to fuck around in the off scenes.
Yeah, especially when your set is like 2 hours from everywhere and there's nothing to do except drink and have sex with your coworkers, and then go shoot guns in the backyard. So right. Yeah, of course they're gonna do that. So there were live rounds on set. Somehow them live rounds got into that gun, and then those live rounds got into Helena Hutchins, killing her. Alec Baldwin co-defendant David Hall has been convicted, and he has gotten 6 months probation on a gun charge in the Rust case. So now we don't know what deal was maybe struck or if there was a deal at all, but we'll get down to that in a second. A co-defendant in the case against Alec Baldwin in the fatal shooting of Helena Hutchins has been convicted. He got 6 months. Safety coordinator and asset director David Halls must also pay a $500 fine. What? Safety director paid a $500 fine. $500. What the fuck? He must complete a gun safety course and commit 24 hours of community service after agreeing to the conviction related to the death of Helena Hutchins on the set of a Western movie Rust. It sounds to me like this guy got a sweetheart deal. I wonder why. He's probably, under this plea agreement, he's probably going to testify against Alec Baldwin. That's probably what's happening here. So what happens is if you have strong case or weak case, you got people on the perimeter that are guilty of something. You get them to cop to a deal, get reduced charges, and then you get their cooperation in getting the big fish. The big fish, obviously, being the man who was holding the gun, right? Alec Baldwin, legendary movie star Alec Baldwin from The Shadow and other stuff. Beetlejuice. Halls appeared briefly by video to waive his right to challenge the negligence charge, and as State District Judge Mary Marlowe Summer approved the terms of the plea agreement with the prosecutors. Defense attorney Lisa Torraco urged the court to not impose a prison sentence. The maximum possible penalty was 6 months behind bars, noting that Halls was extremely traumatized and rattled with guilt. So we have the first conviction, I believe, in the Alec Baldwin Rust shooting, and now my pop-up ad, whatever. So that's David Halls, and safety coordinator for sure should have some responsibility, as should the armorer. But we are not even close to whenever we're going to do this case against Alec Baldwin yet. So he's going to be on the title cards for a while. In addition, the district attorney, wow, how did I mess that up? District attorney in the Alec Baldwin Rust shooting case steps aside. The DA is passing the case to somebody else.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that's a good sign or not. Yeah. Mary Carmack Altwise steps down from the case 5 weeks before the high-profile preliminary hearing in a blow to the prosecution. This is reported by The Guardian. The New Mexico DA, who charged Alec Baldwin for the shooting death of cinematographer Helene Hutchins on the Rust set, has stepped down from the case, marking another blow to the prosecution. She said in a statement on Wednesday that she was passing prosecution of the case over to Carrie Morrissey and Jason Lewis. Carmack Altwise is the second prosecutor to resign from a legal team in the case, which has been beset by errors since Baldwin and armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed were charged in January for the death of Hutchins. The latest twist is a win for the defense and leaves the prosecution on its heels.
So why is this back? I'm listening to everything you've said, but I've missed why this is back in the fucking news again. Why are we talking about this?
Well, because it's
something else in the courts.
It's just a legal development. Well, when the prosecution, you have a prosecution team change. I mean, how likely is that going to be a winning case?
That's it. That's the only thing that's happened. Is that the prosecution?
Well, and there's the conviction of Halls, which could mean that they could have tested. They could have basically locked in a prosecution witness against Alec Baldwin.
Yeah,
but then the prosecution team quits.
Yeah, those two things coupled together is very interesting.
So if it was just the one, it'd be like, oh, things are looking grim for Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, but you're right.
But if it was just this one, it'd be like, oh, things are looking like Alec Baldwin's going to get away with murder. Figuratively speaking, I am not directly accusing him of murder. Wink, wink. All right. So that's the Baldwin shooting. That's our Baldwin bullets for the morning. What else do we have?
Our Baldwin bullets.
I know.
We didn't have very many today. Very many stories
not a
today.
Whole lot. We got some.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, you know what we missed Friday? You know what we forgot to do Friday?
What did we forget? Oh, I know what we forgot to do on Friday.
Oh! I gotta talk.
Listen, it was a great opportunity that we missed. He's talking about Fringe. We didn't talk about Fringe, and the Fringe episode was I don't know. It was okay. They're not all great. There's like 100 of them, but I'll wait till he comes back for that. Let's see. Let me close that. What is this? We obviously have we are there's not really any news happening here. We are waiting for Trump to be arraigned. It's expected that Trump will be arraigned tomorrow. Donald Trump, as you guys know, was indicted by a totally non-biased grand jury in New York last Friday. A grand jury in New York indicted Donald Trump on some mystery charges that are currently sealed and we don't know what they are. And we all suspect that it has something to do with Stormy Daniels and of receiving a payment. And if that's all it is, it would be a misdemeanor and doesn't make any sense. So the only reason why this would make a lot of sense is if it was somehow related to electioneering, that Stormy Daniels was paid with election funds or it was designed to manipulate the election. And the FEC didn't want to charge Trump. Had plenty of reason to think that it had nothing to do with Trump or wasn't related to the elections. But that doesn't stop New York prosecutor backed by George Soros, Alvin Bragg, who brought made some sort of a case to a grand jury, got grand jury to make an indictment. So he has been alleged of some crime. That indictment is just basically an accusation. It is not in any way a conviction or anything like that. But it's going to be enough that every time they print a news story about Donald Trump, they'll be able to say Donald Trump running, presidential candidate Donald Trump, indicted again for whatever they're charging it with. We don't know yet. So we're waiting for charges to be read. Tomorrow is very likely the charges will be read and Trump will be arraigned in New York. Remains to be seen if he's going to go up there, if he's just going to have a defense counsel proxy. We don't really know. So we'll see what's happening with that tomorrow. Okay.
Why are they not doing it today? Because it's Tater Day.
Tater Day?
Today's Tater Day, man. Do you not know what Tater Day is? I thought everybody knew what Tater Day is. That's my hometown holiday.
Is it really?
My hometown holiday is called Tater Day, and it is today. It's always the first Monday in April. It is the oldest continuous trade day in the United States. Hang on, let me see if it's the oldest continuous trade day in the United States. It was started
Seriously.
It was started in like 1843, 1840 something, and my hometown was the county seat. That's where the courthouse was, right?
Okay.
So back in the day, back in the 1800s, we grew sweet potatoes around here, and all the farmers would have their winter crops, and they would bring their winter crops because sweet potatoes a winter crop, and you would bring it to on the first Monday in April. They would all come because usually like the first week in April or something is when they had the court. So everybody from all around the county would come to town because it was a big deal to come to town. It didn't take 5 minutes. It took a long ass time to get to town,
Okay.
It was a big deal back then. And all the farmers would come to town and they would trade because they had court that day and stuff, but they would since they were all there, they would trade. So they'd bring their sweet potatoes and trade for corn or trade for this or trade for that. So it was a trade day, and it became not just food, but other things that they would trade as well. And today it's kind of a festival with little knickknacks and artisans and does stuff, that do stuff. And then they have corn dogs and funnel cakes and all the deep fried bullshit that they do, but they have a parade and all the fun things that the kids can do. So it's kind of
I like that about small towns because I used to
going on for.
I used to live in a small town, and we didn't have a potato day, but we did have an
not potato. It's tater.
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 Whatever. Sweet potato. Tater.
It's Tater Day.
We didn't have a tater day. We had a blueberry festival every year.
Oh, that's
it's usually
cool.
like in June. Yeah, when I lived in East Texas, we had I guess there's blueberry picking farms around there or something like that. And We went one time in June, and you go down to the town square, and the town square is literally like a square where there's like
Yeah.
a courthouse in the middle of
Yeah.
town, and then
That's how
there's like,
ours
you know,
is.
streets around it, and you can like walk the entire downtown like
Yeah.
in 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. That's how ours.
And they would set up a fair all in that town square,
Mhm.
and I paid $20 for like a massive like 5-pound box of blueberries. We ate those blueberries for like a week or two. They were delicious, and they were the freshest. So, but they would have like blueberry ice cream and blueberry this and that
Yeah.
across the fair, and funnel
Yeah.
cakes. Like you're saying, I like that about small towns. I like the
Yeah.
fact that they have like little like, you know, events like that. That's fun
Yeah, we
stuff.
bought some homemade fudge last night, and then my daughter the other night, she's working all weekend, so she didn't get to go, and she was really wanting some deep fried Oreos for some reason, and she couldn't
Mm,
find any of the others. She's having to work.
not
She had to
good.
work a double. I know, but she's weighs 80 pounds. So,
Yeah, right. Yeah, she can afford to do that.
she can afford to
That
eat Oreos.
that will
Yes.
probably kill you.
Yeah, it'll kill me. And, looking at the Oreo would kill me. But I got her some deep fried Oreos yesterday. We ran them to her
Oh,
work.
man.
So, yeah, it was cool.
Fun.
So, yeah, a little small town. Tater Day is today in Benton.
Right.
It's on
So I
calendars.
have
You can look it up. It used to be on it's on calendars. It's not a set day. It's always the first Monday in April.
whatever the first Monday is.
Yeah, whatever the
I've
first
honestly
Monday
never
is.
heard of a sweet potato trading day. Certainly never
Yeah.
heard of it as being the oldest trading day,
The
or whatever a
oldest
trading day was.
the
So you've
oldest
learned me a lot this
continuous
morning.
the oldest continuous trade day in the United States is in my hometown.
Mm.
And I feel akin to it because I've traced my personal family back to this county. They moved in this county in like the early 1800s, so they've been here for the entirety. My DNA has been at
Oh,
Tater Day for its entirety, so I don't know if I have some of that DNA memory, that they're studying.
okay. I
Do
was
you
trying
have
to
a
think,
bad
like, is there
story?
some way that we can convert this into like
I
into
know.
National
I
Trans
think
Beer Day of some kind? We can like this will
Oh,
be the
I thought
first
this was a
annual
I
National
thought this was a
Trans Beer
bad
Day.
No, we're not doing a trans beer day. Thank you very much. I thought you were trying to segue into this story, and I thought this story was a bad story.
Oh, well, I wasn't trying to segue into anything. I was trying to figure
Oh.
out, like, how do I get from this to Satanists? Whatever. I'm
no.
just going to break into
Oh,
Satanists.
this is the Satanist story. Oh, okay. Oh,
The
we got in trouble for Tater Day one year because people were wearing Marilyn Manson shirts, and it pissed off all the churches, and they got in trouble just for
yeah.
wearing a T-shirt.
You know, Marilyn
And
Manson was sort of
that's how
like
we can
your
segue into Satanism.
proto-trans person, you know? Like, he was
Brian
always
Warner-
just doing an act.
You're exactly right. You've hit the nail on the head. He and Gene Simmons and Alice Cooper, I can't
Right.
remember Alice Cooper's real name. They all knew
Yeah.
exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
In
We're gonna-
an article one time, Brian Warner, who's Marilyn Manson, said, if those churches would have never protested me, you would have never heard of me.
Right.
Because those churches protested him back in the day, made him who he is.
Yeah,
If they would have
I mean-
completely ignored him, they wouldn't have been just another band.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
So,
All right.
Satanism.
Yeah.
Nothing.
The ACLU is suing Saucon Valley School District over its district's decision not to allow after-school Satan Club. Not to allow after-school Satan Club. I bet they have a good reason too. Like, we just don't need any after-school clubs, or we don't want to spend money having I don't know. We'll see what they say.
They
The
might not have
ACLU
the budget for like goat's heads
Right.
and chicken blood.
Right. And who can
And they
afford
might
that?
not be in the budget. I'm seriously. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to be feasible here.
I mean, there's got to be a reasonable explanation for this. The ACLU of Pennsylvania and Dirchit LLP file a lawsuit in federal court Thursday against the Saucon. Doesn't it seem like that's like a villain name, Saucon Valley? I'm thinking like Sauron from like Lord of the Rings. Saucon Valley School District over the district's decision not to allow after-school Satan Club to meet. The complaint requests emergency and permanent injunctive relief against the district, as well as compensatory and nominal damages for they want
Jesus
money.
Christ. Look,
The school district.
your religion wants to be recognized and whatnot, and that's fine. But fuck you, Satanists, man. I don't like your religion, and I think it's fucking horse shit. And I think you're a fucking cocksucker if you say
Listen,
you're a Satanist just because.
I'm
So
just,
fuck you and
I'm
your
just,
religion. I don't think you should have rights, but all you other religious people, y'all have rights. But fuck you, Satanists.
I mean,
That's my personal
I'm,
opinion. So it's probably a good thing I ain't making the choices, isn't it?
evil is racist. That's all I got to say
Evil is
about this.
racist, man.
Evil is
Evil is
racist.
racist.
So, supposedly from the ACLU, the After School Satan Club provides a critical space for students who may feel unwelcome at other. It's Satanism.
Fuck
I
off.
mean, in other after school religious clubs.
I was one of
They're
those
not
kids
unwelcome.
that
You
didn't
guys are
feel
welcome.
I was one of those fucking kids that didn't feel welcome in the Beta Club or FBLA or any of those other bullshit clubs. That's why my ass was in the history club. You know what we did? We ate donuts and we got to go to the dam and take a tour.
Yeah.
That's all we did in the history club. And now now Alex is in the D&D club at school. And I was like, what the if we would have started a D&D club back at school, we would have been the Satanism club, JJ. Oh my God, this is how it's come full circle. If we would have had a D&D club back in the early 90s, in the late 80s and early 90s, it would have been the Satanists club.
That's what it would have been declared externally. That's when they're like, oh, you guys are all into devil worship.
On Dungeons and Dragons and why it wasn't Satanist and why it was good and whatnot to my teacher. And my teacher, I remember, wrote a big long red paragraph at the bottom of that 2-page report. And it was like, you have opened my eyes to a different way to look at this game. I remember that. I was like, I've changed one adult. Because I've had some newer D&D players ask me that. Did you have to go through that Satanism scare crap? Hell yes, I went through it. My buddy's parents threw away all his books.
So that's in Pennsylvania.
Young kiss my ass.
And we'll remind you that Pennsylvania is a state that decidedly elected a brain dead vegetable man. Yeah.
Did you see where he's gotten out of rehab?
Yeah, he got released from the hospital.
Getting released from rehab.
I haven't seen any photos.
Did you see the other picture of I think I sent it to Ashley. I don't know if I put it in our this was like a couple 2 or 3 weeks ago now, but it was John Fetterman. It was this picture of John Fetterman. And it was a before he went into the hospital picture, and then it was like an after he got out of the hospital picture, and it was obviously 2 different men. That was not John Fetterman. It was not
a doppelganger.
Yes, it was very much a man that looked very much like John Fetterman.
You know, the key giveaway is going to be able when people ask this new John Fetterman a question, and he's like able to answer the question. If you're going to impersonate John Fetterman, you're going to have to be like, and stumble over your words, be unable to speak, have to read like, oh, let me get a transcript of your whatever you're saying. I don't understand. So maybe that's an easy job. I don't know. You just go around acting like you don't understand anything anybody's saying, and you can be a John Fetterman replacement, body double.
Keep scrolling past I'm looking through all of our stories here that we've got coming up, and I keep scrolling past that fucking picture of Dylan Mulvaney. Holding up that damn Bud Light in that extravagant fucking dress. And it looks so, that looks so out of place. That's like fucking redneck at the cocktail party, dude.
You gotta look, the old saying goes, when somebody tells you who they are, you believe them. And Bud Light has told you who they are. So just, accept Bud Light's new identity, please. Okay. Don't dead beer Bud Light. All right. We got one more Pennsylvania story. So not only is Pennsylvania the place where Satanists are, not feeling comfortable and where they elect vegetables for the Senate.
Pennsylvania is the home where Satanists' feelings are hurt. Not only Satanists' feelings, but our children Satanists.
Yes, that's right.
It's not Satanist, it's our teenage and child Satanists. Their feelings are hurt.
Yeah, their feelings are hurt.
That we need to look for.
So this story is kind of outrageous. Pennsylvania schools exclude parents from child's gender transition plan.
Of course. If your
A
child goes to
Pennsylvania.
school, it's not your child anymore. It's public property.
Oh yeah, right.
They can do whatever they
Well,
want.
you know what they say? The leftists don't have kids; they have yours. They bring
Yeah. No shit. No shit.
at a Pennsylvania school district. A Pennsylvania school district will keep parents in the dark when it invites children to declare a gender that is different from their sex. So the Greater Johnstown School District in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, created a gender transition plan and a gender support plan for students. Neither plan requires consent or involvement from parents. The gender transition plan features a section called Parent Guardian Involvement. It asks, are guardians of this student aware and supportive of their child's gender transition? And if not, what considerations must be accounted for by implementing this plan? So they're purposefully creating a plan that definitely, and not only that, not only does it definitely and specifically know that parents may not be aware that their kids are being brainwashed into believing some stuff or whatever, but later on it says it specifically denies that that guardians be informed.
So how you like numbers? What's the percentage of parents that are going to yank their kids out of this school district, do you think?
It depends. I mean, I'm going to assume that Johnstown is a big urban area and these guys are bluer than blue, and I guess they're just going to like go with it.
You might be right too. You might be right.
Yeah. Like in rural urban areas, right? People would be like, no, and they pull their kids out and they put them in like homeschools or pods or, something like that. Something they'd be inclined to do kind of anyway. And then this would be like, no.
Yeah.
But, you got urban areas, you don't really get school choice. It seems like this is a great argument for vouchers, school choice, and giving parents the right to decide which schools their kids go to.
We had a terrible principal at our high school here. She's still here, but she just announced last week that she's retiring, and it's because the community has gotten together and has ran her ass out because she's a piece of trash. This woman, I'm not going to say her name or anything, but she's a piece of trash. She's treated my kids like shit before, and we're glad she's gone. It's funny, when she announced her retirement, I told JJ I had to say something on the radio about it. I made fun on the radio. I had to get off this show real quick so I could
shocked about that, to be honest, Deacon. I was but
I've been in trouble before.
Okay.
I've gotten a talking to for things I've said on the radio before. I had to fuss at an old lady the other day because while we were here, that's why I had to leave when I didn't talk to you after the show the other day, is because I had an old lady that was fussing at me. I had to call back and fuss at her.
Sometimes people need talking to.
So
let's see. Richter says, California, I'm the worst state. Pennsylvania, hold my trans beer.
Yeah, hold my trans beer.
It's a good one. That's a good one, sir. It's pretty good.
That's a good one. We could use that one too. Evil is racist.
Hold my trans beer.
Hold my trans beer.
Hold my trans beer.
Oh yeah.
In order to keep, this is the last thing I need to say about this. In order to keep the gender identity secret, school personnel are instructed to use the student's legal name and pronoun corresponding to their assigned gender at birth when contacting a student's parents or guardian. So they're specifically instructed to conceal the fact that at the school they are being referred to by a they, a them, a they, a her, a he, a here, a
stop! You're making my fucking head hurt going through all that shit. Zay.
All right,
that fucking word makes me that's one of my trigger words. Zay.
Zay.
Just fucking makes me turn into the Incredible Hulk. All of a sudden, I just want to punch somebody if they ever said I'm a Zay. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna show you.
So there's been quite a lot of movement on the migration and border stuff. Mayorkas is the border czar or whatever. He's been under He's been having to testify before Congress or whatever. And so there's been a lot of movement on border-related issues. Specifically, that movement has been across the border, and people are a whole lot of people are coming across the border. In March, the Southwest border migrant apprehensions jumped to 161,000 after a 2-month decline.
Well, that's not too much.
Yeah, 161,000. That's not too many. That's not too many people just running across the border.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I mean, we're already at like probably close to 20 million. So, it's a drop in the bucket, really.
Yeah.
The short-term decrease in migrant apprehensions that followed a Biden administration immigration policy change came to an abrupt end in March when agents apprehended more than, this is just the ones they caught, 161,000 migrants along the southwest border with Mexico. The 25% jump in March follows 2 months where the averages were just 129,000. So they got it down to just 129,000. And then once everybody figured out, like, oh, these policies, there's no big deal, they're back at it, and they're up 25%. So that's our border situation right now. Check out this. This is awful and horrible. We have had a couple of cartel stories recently. We had, the killing, there was cartel killings, and then the cartel trundled them up and taped them up and dumped them in a truck where they could be picked up by authorities because they were undisciplined. Well, here we have a new cartel story. A man kidnapped in his home in Texas, taken to Mexico by the cartel gunman, and he remains missing. This is horrific. The fate of a Texas man is unknown after a team of cartel gunmen took him out of a house in Laredo, Texas, crossed him into Mexican city of Nuevo Laredo, and the victim reportedly bragged about stealing $50,000 from the Cartel del Noreste faction of Los Zetas. Well, that was a very, very bad thing to do, sir. Not victim blaming, but dumb as fuck is what that is. You live on a border town. Los Zetas is like operating in your neighborhood, and you're going to brag about stealing $50K from them.
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
This dude,
if you steal from the cartel, you may want to disappear and never say a word again. You may want to.
Don't worry, you're an American. Don't worry, America will lock that border down and keep you safe. Right? No. America. Fuck nah. They're not gonna do shit.
I don't think that's how the song goes, but you were close.
Nah. All right. I think that's all the stories that we have in the hopper that I had, unless you had something off books.
I don't have any stories. I've got my song of the day.
Yeah, you got to do your song. I thought you were going to do it earlier in the show.
I hit the wrong one, and I had to talk, so I needed some time. My song of the day today is one of my favorite bands of all time. Did you listen to Blind Melon back in the day? Do you remember?
Oh my God,
No Rain?
Dude, I hate that song. It was on 100% rotation. Yeah. I feel highly confident that sometimes they would play that and then just play it again. There was no other song. It would just be Blind Melon on a loop.
Yeah, you're right.
MTV and their stupid bee costume.
The Bumblebee Girl. No, see, okay, the Bumblebee Girl, that's like an iconic thing now. But yes, you're right. Okay, No Rain. They played the shit out of it. They did. That was one of those that back in the day, radios did that everywhere. They played songs and they put it. It was about a 2.5 hour rotation because they still do a 2.5 hour rotation on certain songs today. So if you're thinking, man, I've heard that song 3 times today, you have heard that song 3 times today if you've been listening to the radio. But they played the shit out of No Rain. They did. But did you know that band, Shannon Hoon, the lead singer, ended up dying? But so they had 2 albums. They had 2 albums. Did you know that No Rain, that song, the only song that came out by Blind Melon, the only one that most people know about Blind Melon, No Rain, that song, the only one you've ever heard. That's the worst fucking song on those albums.
Yes, I agree.
The worst one. No, I'm serious. Their albums, their music, phenomenal. Great band. That's one of those that I've had discussions with music people before about what would have happened if Shannon Hoon would have stayed alive. He was a musical genius. He had a crazy voice, musical genius. This song, it's one of my favorites. I think I'm going to do Blind Melon all week for you, JJ. If you'll listen to these songs.
Boy, that'll be great.
Come on. Well, you're not a music person anyway, so this is not for you. But anybody that wants to expand your mind and expand your musical horizons, because this is why I do this, listen to this song, Toes Across the Floor by Blind Melon. It's from the Soup album. It is an excellent song. Excellent, beautiful song. It is a hauntingly beautiful song. It's very haunting, but it is a ballad kind of. Wonderful, beautiful song.
Okay.
I don't care, Deacon. I don't really give
Blind Melon, man. I just maybe it'll be good. You know what? I will give it a try.
I'll give it a try. My dumbass program director that I used to work for, he's my arch nemesis. His name is Mark Summers, and I hate his ass. He said the same thing when I come up to him one day. He said the same thing. I was like, man, I was talking about Blind Melon. He goes, that stupid ass band with that dumbass Blind Melon, that No Rain song. And I was like, if that's the only fucking song you've heard about Blind Melon, then shut up. You're not a part of this conversation. If that's the only thing that you know about Blind Melon is they played a stupid ass No Rain song, go away. I don't want your opinion. You know? So if you're willing to open up if you are willing to broaden your horizons and listen to this song today, you might like it. If not, I don't care. I'm not going to.
So Rick there says he always likes music recommendations. So maybe we should call it, it's song of the day, but maybe we should like devote it to Richter on a daily somehow. We'll think about that. I don't know. Are you ready for your yuck, your jokey joke?
Are you ready for the joke? You're actually ready for it?
I think I'm ready.
Holy crap. All right. So my jokes this week come from Alex.
Oh,
my son.
What's it? Oh, really?
Yep. He's been giving me jokes and I've been writing them down, and I was like, I've been laughing at them. And man, he's been giving me some good ones. So
okay.
So this one goes along with our story today with Dylan Mulvaney. All right. Why did I'm going to say Dylan Mulvaney. No, it's not work. That doesn't work. Why did the trans man prefer salad? Why did the trans man prefer salad, JJ?
I don't know.
Because he was a herbivore.
Oh my God. All right, that's pretty good. My joke is not on theme, I'm sorry to say. Do you know, Deacon, how many optometrists it takes to change a light bulb?
No.
Is it 1 or 2? Is it 1 or 2? Is it 1 or 2?
Pretty good. I like that one. That's a pretty good one.
All right. Hey guys, if you've watched this far in the show, thanks. I don't know why, but we really appreciate it.
You're obviously bored this morning.
Yeah. I hope your day starts great. I hope this is the best week ever. This is the most wonderful Monday. Your coffee was, it smells delicious. It was so good. And you had a good time. Hit the like button. Share this video. I posted a comic book opening video this weekend too. So if you
can get 100 likes on JJ's comic book opening video, JJ will dress up like Dylan Mulvaney.
This is cool. This is Knife Hand Blind Spot. Yeah, and I'm not gonna do that actually. I'm not gonna do that at all. This is a comic book from Jawbreakers franchise, but what they did in what he did in one of these stories is that he colored it as though it is a 1980s comic book. So he took a flat palette from like in the 1980s. It's pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Anyway, yeah, it's pretty neat. Like back, like when you read comics when you were a kid, it was all pulp paper and the colors were like very vivid and saturated and pretty flat. Looks great. Looks awesome. So I have a video on that.
That's very cool. All
right. That's all. We'll be back tomorrow. If you'd like to support the show, then join our Discord or some of the other things. And damn it, Cindy, clean your desk. Shit. It's a mess over there. All right. Some of us are trying to, have a positive work environment.
Fuck around and not work and do television shows.
That's true. Bye, everybody. It's me. He's talking about me. Lost the thing. Here we go. Bye.